teachers from the high school who just came back. She was a Fulbright student over in South Korea, so Samantha, welcome back. How many of you travel to theme parks because you have kids? Like you were walking through 110-degree heat at SeaWorld or Fiesta, Texas. Yeah, that's right. How many of you just, the school year ended, you went to South Padre Island and you just kind of got lost there? That's right, so that's a beauty, right? That's a beauty about summer is that we have so many options of what we can do to recharge ourselves. How many of you did summer school? Yay! How many of you did professional development this summer? All right. You know, this summer we got a chance to travel through professional development. We went up to Plano, Texas. I went with some fellow teachers and administrators. That's right, with Ms. Mary Garza, with Larry Salazar and Nolda Rodriguez. And we were sent to a training this summer for what was supposed to be 4 days. Right, notice the key word was supposed to be 4 days. Right, we got there, we were taking off on Father's Day. Right, Father's Day so Mr. Salazar and I here we became parents in our 40s, right? And so that day's very special, so we organized the trip to give a little later time. Well, interestingly, our flight didn't take off from McAllen until about a little after midnight. We got to Plano or to Dallas at 2:30 in the morning, and there we were in our first training at 8 a.m. in Plano, Texas. And I'm just going to share a bit of the story with the assistant principals. I hope I don't get you angry. And it was an eventful trip, right? We get to our hotel, we go to our training, we come out of the training super exhausted, like we're finally going to get a chance to rest. Well, no, not really, because our hotel was on fire, right? And so there we were the next day. Our van driver refused to give us a ride. They kicked our administrators out of the van, and they came to pick us up 2 hours later after they shut down the building. Right, and then the next day we're so excited, we're coming home, we're like, yes, we're finally getting to go home. And there was a little gray cloud between San Antonio and Austin, so they decided to cancel our flight. And they told us we can't do anything, so you have to stay here at the airport tonight. Right, and so, we managed to make it into the city, and we didn't get our luggage back, right, because they had already checked it in. And anyway, finally we made it home. Almost a week later, it felt like, right? And the moral of the story I'm trying to share here is that we were up there, we were learning and bringing all these new ideas, and as part of a PTEC grant that our school has for planning to probably bring more opportunities for our students through college courses, through associate degrees, and also more funding to our school. So these are all positive things. And the beautiful thing is that as we were there, we saw ourselves ahead of the curve. Like, we are one of the few schools that are moving in that direction, and it was really nice to see that. And the moral of the story is that if you ask us to do it all over again, and we would do it in a heartbeat because we know it's better for our kids, for our community, and for everyone here at Edcouch-Elsa. So I know some of you went through those trials and tribulations, and all I want to say is thank you so much for what you do to bring back those experiences here for our students at Edcouch-Elsa. So my question today is, are you ready to celebrate? Awesome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Joaquin Hasso. Most people know me as Jack. This is my 25th year at Edcouch-Elsa High School. And this is my 15th year up here on stage doing the beginning of the year ceremonies and serving as Master of Ceremonies, and it is a great honor to be here. And I'm all excited with all the presentations that we have for you today. Beautiful thing is we're going to see all the beauty of our school, or part of the beauty of our school and the work that we do, and our kids. Look at them dressed in their outfits, pouring out their art that they are practicing with certain teachers, coaches, etc. And we get to see all of that today, and we get to do it on the clock. So thank you, Dr. Rivera. We appreciate that. Okay, so at this time we ask everybody to please stand as we do the presentation of colors. Presentation of colors is through our JROTC. Holding the American flag will be Juan Leos. Holding the Texas flag is Magda Luna. Holding the left rifle is Belém Ramirez. And holding the right rifle is Carla Velasquez. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our ROTC members. At this time, I invite several members of our high school football team, Robert Zambillo, Jack Perez, Jake Cardenas, and Kike Hernandez, along with UIL student Victoria Hernandez. Can you all please come forward to lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. At this time, we invite several members of our Mariachi Juvenil Azteca to please come forward to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. At this time, I invite Jessica Lira and Jasmine Diaz, both members of our Golden Guard, and to come up and lead us with the invocation.
Please bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful afternoon. We praise you for every blessing you have given us, and we pray for many more. As we begin this new school year, we gather once again as your believers. We thank you for the energy and spirit that you renewed in us through the summer months. We thank you for the time to enjoy our family and friends and to reflect on what is important in our lives. Let this year be marked by enthusiasm and love so that, with the inspiration of your Spirit, we may continue to grow in our faith. Help us to fulfill your hope before us with honest intentions and works of faith. Let us be gentle with ourselves and bring laughter, joy, and love to others. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated now. Okay, are you ready for some entertainment? Who likes mariachi music? Who has the best mariachi grito here in this wonderful facility? All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we introduce to you our back-to-back state champion, Mariachi Juvenil Azteca.
chiquitito.
La luna se va escondiendo en el gallo el cantar.
Gallo el cantar.
Es que está amaneciendo y mi amor va a despertar.
Va a despertar.
Sale el vaquero contento con su copla a saludar. Al lograr el firmamento otro día viene a anunciar.
Ay, 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 mírame bien.
No te agarremos una chiquita con tu querer.
Diles que sí, no digas no.
Tú sabes que tu bueno chiquita, no más soy yo.
La luna se va escondiendo en el gallo el cantar.
Gallo el cantar.
Es que es amaneciendo y mi amor va a despertar.
Va a despertar. Sale el vaquero contento con su compra a saludar. Al oír el firmamento otro día viene a anunciar. Ay, 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 mírame bien.
No te agarremos una chiquita con tu querer.
Diles que sí, no digas no.
Tú sabes que tu dueño, chiquita, no más soy yo.
Por la vereda del llano va cantando el caporal.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marcos Garcia. I'm the proud director of the Edcouch-Elsa Mariachi Juvenil Azteca. Along with my co-directors, Mr. Mario Ferrer, who's up there, Mr. Michael Cital, we want to thank you all for your support. This group has done everything that you can do to go out and represent Edcouch-Elsa at a high level. We've brought back the national title. We've brought back 2 back-to-back state titles. We were in Philadelphia this past semester. So these guys have done everything that they can accomplish in the mariachi world. They've gone out and represented you guys, represented us and the community at the utmost level. So every year when we come back, it's like, what can we do that's gonna surprise you, because we have such great kids. By the way, about a third of the group, this is their very first performance at the varsity level. So I bet you couldn't even tell, but we have a brand new set of kids. So when I said, what can we do that we haven't already done before? We came out with a new style of music that hasn't been tried at Edcouch-Elsa. So I won't tell you what the song is. I won't give away the surprise, but I want to just tell you that these kids have been working super hard this summer to get the song ready for you guys. And if I gave away the whole story, I would tell my age and how I go back. But back in the day, music was music when it was coming from the original instruments and when it was coming from the people who played it. So this style of music encompasses that, and it goes out and preserves what music is. So thank you for supporting music education in the schools and mariachi in the schools. And please enjoy this tribute to the 80s with this selection.
She's got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was fresh as a bright blue sky. Now and then when I see his face, it takes me away to that special place. And if I stare too long, I'd probably break down and cry. Child of mine. Oh, 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 sweet love of mine. Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go? Sweet town, sweet town. Where do we go? Sweet town, sweet town of mine. Where do we go now? Where do we go? Sweet town, sweet town. Sweet town, sweet town. Oh, mine.
All righty, folks. Was that not beautiful? I do want to take a moment right now to call out the directors of the Mariachi program. Mr. Marcos Garcia, can you please come forward, sir, and take a bow for the wonderful work that you and your directors are doing. Mr. Cital, Mr. Ferrer back there, we got to wave to you guys. You guys are amazing. Let's give them a round of applause. For those of you that are new to our district, these gentlemen also perform professionally, write music, and they themselves, as performers, have been nominated for 2 Grammy Awards in 2 different years, of course. And so we want to thank them for bringing that talent, bringing that art to our school and making our kids much better. And above all, isn't it beautiful when you see teachers pushing the envelope and constantly moving music forward and connecting with so many generations. So I want to give them a wonderful, just wonderful thank you so much for what you guys do. It says here, next item on the agenda is roll call. I don't know if you're preserving energy here, but folks, it's time for, say it with me, it's time for roll call. There will be 3 schools awarded as the most spirited campuses as part of our district. Will you be that campus that has the most spirit here today? And we're going to do it a little different today. This is how it's going to be done. I'm going to first I'm going to introduce the principal of the campus, and then I will call the campus so that the principal can lead the campus in this wonderful experience that we call roll call. Now, many of you have been to our pep rallies, and this is as pep rally spirited as it gets here at Edcouch-Elsa. All right, so Edcouch-Elsa, are you ready? I said Edcouch-Elsa ISD, are you ready? When I call your campus, Stand on your feet and let them know that we are an A-plus campus all the way up to Austin, Texas. All right, we're going to begin with Gutierrez Early Childhood, Miss Norma Hernandez, principal. Please stand. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I will ask the question. Jorge Rolando Gutierrez Early Childhood, are you here? All right, thank you so much. Next will be Garcia Elementary. Mr. Jesse Ramos, can you please stand? All right, the question is, Garcia Elementary, are you here? Wow. Wow, very impressive. Impressive. I don't know who's going to clean all that up, but that's awesome. Next will be JFK Elementary. Will Principal Criselda Martinez please stand? And now the question is, JFK Elementary, are you here? Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. Next will be LBJ Elementary. Miss Aminta Limas, may you please stand to lead your school in roll call. And the question is LBJ Elementary here today? Wow. Whoa, that's a lot of energy. Love it. Next campus, RCR Elementary. Miss Mari Olivares, can you please stand to lead your campus? Question is, RCR Elementary, are you here? Wow. Wow, folks, that is a lot of energy. Woo. That's a party, folks. That's a party right there. All right. Next is Truan STEM Academy. Will Principal Alfredo Aguilar please stand to lead your campus? And the question is, Truan STEM Academy, are you here? Wow. Wow. Whoa. That was good. Next campus will be the high school. Will Ms. Janie Tijerina please stand to lead your campus in roll call? And the question is, Edcouch-Elsa High School, are you here? Nice. Nice. Wow. Lots of energy. Oh, this is starting to feel like a high school pep rally because I hear another school challenging. Which campus has the most spirit today? Edcouch-Elsa ISD, are you here? All righty, thank you. Woo! Okay, the judges have a tough decision to see which three campuses will be anointed the three most spirited campuses for this ceremony today. But we have other departments we do want to recognize. Representing the Special Education Department, Itza Flores, can you please stand? There you go. All right, Special Education Department, are you here? Nice. Little late, but that was still good. Oh, still going. All right. Representing the Parental Involvement Migrant Department, Monica Vela. Can you please stand? I want to say Miss Vela is a former cheerleader. I used to see her stand up here, and she would really lead her groups. I'm pretty excited to hear this department. Parental Involvement Migrant Department, are you here? Back there. Representing the Maintenance Department, Mr. Rudy Rodriguez, can you please stand to present your department? Question is, maintenance department, are you here? Thank you. You're permitted to sit down because you guys are always standing around cleaning up our mess, and I know y'all are watching all this and saying, I know. So you have earned the right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Transportation Department, we have Martin Rodriguez. Where are you all? Back there? Oh, there you are. I see the light. Transportation Department, are you here? Awesome. Representing the Warehouse and Custodial Department, Baldo Silva. Can you please stand? There you go. So, Warehouse Custodial Department, are you here? Child Nutrition, Elena Garza and Javier Romero, please stand. Back there. Child Nutrition Department, are you here? Security Department, Mr. Leonel Hinojosa, can you please stand? Question is the Security Department here? And last but not least, representing the Media Center Department, Mr. Pete Vallejo, can you please stand? Media Center Department, are you here? Awesome. What's that? I wonder why it wasn't on the list that was given to me. Administration Department, are you here? Oh my goodness, they're still trying to figure out who won this contest. Woo! Do y'all want to give them a last second taste of who won the Spirit Stick contest today? All right, the decision is here. And I have the winners. No particular order. There are 3 campuses that will be recognized as the most spirited campuses today. So as I call you, I invite the principal to come forward and be recognized. One of our outstanding, most spirited campuses today is RCR Elementary. Ms. Maria Olivares, can you please come up and be recognized? The second campus, no particular order, receiving recognition is LBJ Elementary. Wolaminta Limas, please come forward and be recognized. And the last campus of the 3 campuses recognized. Edcouch-Elsa High School. Well, Janie Tijerina, first-year principal at Edcouch-Elsa High School, please come forward and be recognized. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause to our 3 spirited campuses. And there will be prizes coming to your campus for this distinction. All right. Before we begin our entertainment again, we need everybody to get seated. We got to let all that energy out, right? Now it's time to rest a little. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we have many new individuals who have joined our family here at Edcouch-Elsa ISD. So if you are new, a new teacher, a new employee to Edcouch-Elsa ISD, we're going to ask you to please stand at this moment to be recognized. If you are new to Edcouch-Elsa ISD, please stand and be recognized. Okay, you need to remain standing because we have part 2. It's called Initiation to the Family. Okay, so if you're new to Edcouch-Elsa, and you're new to the area, you know, and many of you who came into our district, like our wonderful principal here at the high school, she said, yes, I'm new to Edcouch-Elsa High School, but I've heard of the spirit, I've heard of the success of everything that you do in sports and academics and the arts. Edcouch-Elsa is so known because these kids up here, kids who performed a second ago, our kids who are in our aisles, wherever they go to represent us, they always do an amazing job, and they come back and they bring back the gold. But along with that is a sense of community that stems from the centerpiece of pride of who we are in the communities of Edcouch and Elsa. So, with that in mind, right, we go into initiation. Many times when you go to a performance or game or any event, you're going to hear a PA announcer, sometimes it's me, and they will yell out a word. It's a very powerful word, and it means something. It's in the corrido de la máquina. That's how powerful it is, right? They will yell the word viva. Very powerful, right? Your response is going to be, okay, let's do that again. The PA announcer will yell viva, you will yell la máquina. The PA announcer may yell la máquina, you will respond by saying viva. All right, so here's initiation. It's pretty simple. We're going to practice it. All right, newbies, here we go. Or newbies to the district, here we go. Viva! Okay, I said newbies to the district. Pongan atención, all right? You see, that's how good the pride is. You hear it? Automatic reaction of the senses, right? That's how good it is. All right, newbies, and newbies only to the district. Viva! 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 La máquina! Okay, now all together. Kids, you can join, because you guys do this better than anybody else. All right, and our cheerleaders are here too, and our Golden Brigade is here too, so here we go. Viva! 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 La Máquina! All right, welcome to the family. Welcome to Edcouch-Elsa ISD. Wonderful home of champions. And now without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we're going to have our entertainment by our Edcouch-Elsa High School Band giving us those sounds of Friday night. Ready, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause to our high school band under the direction of Mr. Joel Cáceres. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a performance that includes our Golden Guard and our High School Gold Brigade. And this was done on a 3-week summer camp that they did under the direction of Robert Royal. Viva! All righty, thank you so much, gentlemen. Members of our theater arts program, these kids are volunteering during their summer day to come and make this a wonderful event for us, so thank you so much to them. We do want to share a couple of the accolades of the presentations that were here. I know that the Golden Guard during the summer camp placed 7th overall in the state meet that took place this summer. And the Golden Brigade, we do want to announce that they were invited to perform at the Citrus Bowl and also at Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. So congratulations to our program, both under the direction of Miss Marisa Marmolejo, who needs no introduction at our school. Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our Board of Trustees and our members of our administration. So when I call them, I'm going to ask them to please stand and be recognized. We begin with our Board of Trustees, President, Mr. Robert Schmalzried. I know sometimes they have busy schedules and are unable to attend, but we're still going to recognize them. We have our Vice President, Mr. Chris Morales. Secretary, Robert Peacock, Jr. Trustee, Juan Jose Ibarra, Jr. Trustee, Mr. Tony Barco. Trustee, Mr. Rolando Lozano. And Trustee, Fernando Torres, Jr. Not here today, but we do want to recognize him. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our Board of Trustees. Let's give them a round of applause. And now we recognize our administration. We recognize our EEISD Interim Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Richard Rivera. Welcome back, sir. You know, Dr. Rivera, in baseball, when a baseball player hits a very important home run in the game, the fans call for a curtain call. Sir, that was a curtain call, so welcome back. Our Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Frances Rocha. Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Carmen Garcia. Director of Finance and Operations, Ms. Sylvia Garza. Human Resources and Federal Program Director, Ms. Melinda Chapa. And our Athletic Director / Head Football Coach, Mr. Christian Navarro. Ladies and gentlemen, these individuals are our administration for Edcouch-Elsa ISD. Let's give them a round of applause. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools. Our superintendent, it's his Second time coming back to Edcouch-Elsa. And if I may, sir, I will share a story. I do want to say this about Dr. Rivera. He used to be, and mind you, at one point, we're arm wrestling. At some point, I thought he was going to fire me, right? I used to be the broadcast announcer on highschoolcube.com, and at the same time, I used to be the broadcast announcer for all our athletics on 89.7 FM, which reached to the outskirts of Weslaco and Edcouch-Elsa. He was a superintendent of schools at Edcouch-Elsa, and he was the board president at Weslaco. And it was Friday night, packed stadium, Edcouch-Elsa versus Weslaco. So, I'll get to that, sir. And I'm on the air, and we're on the air, and we're talking, and at this point, we're seeing that we have a high volume of listeners, because through the cube, you could always see how many listeners you had. And in the back of my mind, I was like, I wonder who he's going for, right? Back of my mind, I was like, I wonder who he's going for. So, true story, sir, right? Remember this? I looked at him in the eye, and I said, Dr. Rivera, who are you going for tonight, sir? Without skipping a beat, he says, oh, La Máquina. And La Máquina won, sir. So a true story. And it gives me a great pleasure to have him back. Dr. Rivera, of course, is synonymous into our district for a lot of things. He's synonymous with caring for teachers, caring for our students above all, caring for everyone. And he's also synonymous with pay raises, right? So I hope there's one of those so that I don't get in trouble like I thought I was going to get in trouble the last time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our superintendent of schools, Dr. Richard Rivera.
Thank you. I'm back. I'm glad to be back. And I want to thank our board. They're the ones that brought me back right here. I want to start by saying, when I came here 4 or 5 years ago, something that I saw about Edcouch-Elsa is that this community, our students, have a lot of pride. You saw it today. A lot of talent and a lot of energy. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the water. I don't know what it is, but our kids, again, have a lot of pride and talent. And they're second to no one, and they can beat anyone. Let me say that I'm excited to be back. I'm energized. I'm motivated. And I can tell you that you will see me often, every day in your schools. I want to see the teachers working, the kids working, and I want to give my high fives for all of these students from Edcouch-Elsa. So once again, I'm back and I'm happy, I'm excited. It's going to be a good year. I want to start by just showing you, I'm sure your principals are going to give you the scores and how we did, and I just want to make sure that everyone is aware. So we'll start, no particular order, but Garcia Elementary. I'm very proud of them because they went from a score of 71 to 81. That's a 10 plus 10 points. Also, they had two distinctions, so congratulations to Garcia. I want to go over now John Kennedy. John Kennedy, we had a C this year, but that C is going to become a B or an A. They had one distinction, so you can see the scores in reading, math, science, and writing. The next school is Ruben Rodriguez. Ruben Rodriguez, you can see the scores. From one year to the next, they improved in just about every area. They had a C. They had one distinction, but that was last year. This is a new year, and they're going to come up with an A or a B. LBJ. Proud of LBJ. They had four of 6 distinctions. Congratulations. The early childhood, they were not ranked, but their score was also a B. Carlos Truan, you can see the scores here. They went from a 65 to a 72, a +7. They had a C and 0 distinctions. But that was last year. This year is going to be a little different. We're going to get B's, and A's. Our high school, they stayed from an 81 to an 81, a B. They had 0 distinctions. But that was last year. This school year, we're going to get a B or an A. I'm sorry, from a B to an A with many, many distinctions. The academy, they were not ranked, but they had a B. The academy moved from 69 to 86 points, a gain of +17. As a district, we went from a C to a B, from a 77 to an 83, a +6 points, now 83. This was last year. The new year, the 83 is going to be a 90 or higher. We're all going to work on this. I don't know who, someone put something on Facebook the other day, and they ranked all the school districts from the 95 to the lowest one. We were not at the top. 83 was not at the top. It was, as a district, it was a little lower. But again, that was last year. We are not going to stay second to no one in this school district. So these are the scores. And again, we're going to meet with the principals, with the curriculum people, and our teachers and our staff, our parents. We are going to become better. The next slide, I just want to show you the slide. I'm not going to talk too much about this, but all of you are aware that reading is the foundation for learning. Reading is the foundation for learning. And we want to make sure that our kids in kinder, our kids in pre-K are able to read when they're at that grade. All of you know that we have readers, students that have difficulty reading in all the grades. I'm not going to say what grade. There's difficulties. The key here is at the beginning with the pre-K and the kinder to get our students to read. So the challenge is there now with Gutierrez. Now you all have the kinder students in elementary, so the challenge is there to get these students to read. That's the key to everything. If you cannot read, you're going to have trouble in whatever job you do. The key is reading, 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 reading. I want to talk about a little bit. You probably remember every time that I stood here for almost 5 years, is I told you that education is a great equalizer. That will equal everything. It doesn't matter what your name is, your last name, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, it doesn't matter. Education will open up doors, so education is a great equalizer. I know a lot of you here, including me. We were poor growing up, but education opened the door for me. I know. Let me see a raise of hands. How many in your family education made a difference to where you are today? Let me see your hands. A lot of you. Education is the key to open doors. Every boy and girl deserves a quality education. The most important person in any school is our students. We need to make sure that we provide them a quality education. Yes, there's going to be obstacles, there'll be problems, but we can never forget that they are the most important person in any school. Safe schools. All of you are aware with things that are happening today. In fact, I'm working with the board to get these some kind of door locks. Just so many things happening today that I always used to say, oh, that happened over there is never going to happen here. But it could happen here. So we want to make sure that we have safe schools that are protected, that in our schools we have no bullying, no drugs, no alcohol, and enforce the dress code. Make our students safe. I'm old school. I believe in discipline. I think all of you do. So we want to make sure that all our kids have good discipline before school, in the classroom, during lunch, after school, all the time, that we have good discipline throughout the day. And those that don't behave, there's ways that we can work with them. But again, we need to stress good discipline. We need to be in control. We cannot have the students in control, walking all the hallways and using foul language. We need to have some control where we have good discipline throughout the school day. Technology. All of you know that technology is so important. When our kids leave the school district, when they graduate, when they go into a trade, when they go to college, you want to make sure that they can compete with anyone in the classroom next to them. Edcouch-Elsa, our kids have to be ready in technology. They cannot be second to no one. And our job here, and I'm not sure, when I left 2 years ago, we were very strong in technology. I just want to make sure that we've caught up, that we stayed up there, and that we're able to have the technology to help our students in all our schools. All of you know that parents are very important in our schools. We have to work with them with respect, friendship, welcome, caring, assistance, partner with us. All of us know that if our parents come to our schools and they're met by a rude, it doesn't happen here, but if you're met by a rude secretary, a rude clerk, doesn't pay attention, the parents have a choice. They can go somewhere else. So I want everyone to understand that parents are very important in this organization at Edcouch-Elsa ISD. Again, treat them with respect, friendship, make them feel welcome when they come to your school. Let me talk now about you, about me, people in the organization. I've always said that a great organization, in fact, I told the principal this about 2 weeks ago when I met with him, a great organization is not conquered from the outside. It is conquered from within, when people no longer work as a team. So at Edcouch-Elsa ISD, we want to work as a team. We want to go ahead and have the organization. And they also die because they have lost the ability to be innovative. So in Edcouch-Elsa ISD, we want to have one team, one organization, working together with the boys and girls of our school district. When I was here before, you probably remember, I told you about the puzzle. The puzzle is every person in this organization. Whatever you do, if you're a secretary, if you're a bus driver, if you're a custodian, if you're a teacher, a counselor, nurse, food service, security, I don't want to miss anyone, but all of you, it's a big puzzle. And every part needs to fit. If one part is missing, the organization will not run smoothly. So to me, to the board, every single person in the organization is very, very important. And I listed some of these: custodian, maintenance, security, food service, transportation, office staff. And if I skipped anyone, I apologize. But everyone is important in this big puzzle. Everyone needs to fit together. When I was here before, I always told you there's three kinds of people in any organization: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and one that we never want to be is those who wonder what happens. Never want to be there. Sometimes it's okay to watch, but we want to be the ones who make things happen in the organization. I also said this, that there are two kinds of people in any job assignment. Number one, and that's all of us here, all of us. We're number one here, A. Those who know what they know, but they also know what they don't know and ask for assistance. That's all of us. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. So we don't know, but we know what it is that we don't know. B is the one that we don't want anyone to ever be. None of us. We're in a job. Those who know what they know, but don't know what they're supposed to know to do their job. That's the dangerous one. The ones that don't know what it is they need to do to be able to do their job. No, all of us here, the board too, all of us here, we're number one. Number A, right? Right? Okay. Now, I always refer to the critic. And there's no critics here, but other districts, they have critics. They're the ones that whatever you do, it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to criticize it. It's easier to be a critic than a problem solver. The critic does after-the-fact quarterbacking. You know football, right? You're a quarterback, you throw a pass, it's intercepted, should have run the ball. You run the ball, it stopped, oh, should have passed. There's always after-the-fact quarterbacking, the critic. There's no critics here, right? No critics here. Okay, good. A critic sees only problems, but never gets in the arena to find solutions. So, no critics here, right? I'm not a critic either. Okay. The next one, power. People have power. I have a lot of power. I have power, but I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it to abuse it. So make sure principals, assistant principals, facilitators, you have power. I have power. Make sure you don't use this power. You work with your staff. If they're doing something wrong, you find a way to work with your teacher, work whoever it is. Don't use the power excessively. You don't have to. There's an old saying, I always love this saying, you can step on shoes without messing up the shine. So that's what I want from everyone. You have power, I have power, don't abuse it. We all need to be good leaders. Good leaders. The board, they're leaders. I'm a leader. You're all leaders at what you do. But a leader is able to see a problem before it becomes an emergency. You're able to see it. I'm always saying you need to see the bullets coming at you before the gun is fired. You kind of follow that one? This is a leader. You see a problem coming to you before it becomes an emergency, and you work and you find a solution to that problem. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. A leader is one who takes the organization to where they are, to where they've never been before. A leader looks behind him. I'm the leader, I'm leading, we're going this way, but if I look behind me and the team is not there, then I'm not a leader. You have to make sure that you lead by example and you have the team right behind you. A leader leads by example and not by fear. You can't lead by fear, you lead by example. Now, this is very important. Very important is inappropriate relations between staff and students. All of us have to understand there's a line that separates us from our students. Texting, social media, it's really out of control. In fact, the kids know so much more with their phones than we do. By the time we learn what they're doing something else. So just be careful with the social media, the texting, and be careful because doing something inappropriate can lead to you losing our jobs and our certificate. So be very, very careful with that. Never do anything wrong, unethical, or break the law. Always do the right thing. I'm asking myself, and I never want Channel 4, Channel 5 around me. So I'm asking myself, would this be a good story for the newspaper or television? So here as superintendent, I'm always trying to see the bullets coming at me, the problems coming at me, and I'm not able to see them. You have to see them before these things happen, because you don't want to be in the newspaper with bad stories, things that happen. And it can occur at any time. Anything that happens, it can occur. Research. I've always said that a school year is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a long year. We want to start strong next Monday, the first day of school. We want to stay strong. And yes, during the year, there's going to be some problems. We might accidentally fumble the ball, but you pick it up. A school year is a marathon. It's not just 1 month and you win. Like a football game. A football game is 4 quarters. So you start strong and you finish strong, and I know that all of us will entertain this school year with this thought, that it's going to be a long year, but it goes by fast. It goes by fast. So with your lessons, with your curriculum, if you see that something is not working, you change it. You don't wait until halftime or until January or until May. You keep on changing things that you see are not working. As a teacher, department head, principals, you need to see this and make adjustments as needed. When I was in school, one of the things that stuck up here, never have forgotten that, is called the zone of proximal development. And that's A and B. This is the difference between what a student knows and what he can do independently and what he can do with assistance. So the difference here is, what can your student do? And there are things he cannot do, so he needs assistance. And this is where all of us come in, where we offer the assistance to those students that cannot do that particular work without assistance. Teaching should be targeted to the zone of proximal development. All the research shows that transformational leadership, that's one of the key words right now in education, being a transformational leader, that you raise themselves to a higher level, you establish a vision, set the vision, and you go forward. You lead with the head, the heart, and the hand. Teamwork, transformational leadership. Teaching models. When I was here, I said this before. Don't abandon a teaching method, whatever it is, because you think it's old. If it's working, you keep it. Don't go out there and try to adopt something new just because it's new and it may not work. So here's the old and the new. So again, if something is old, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, if it's still working, you don't get rid of it. You don't go out there and buy software, buy this or whatever it is because it's new. You buy something new because you believe that the new will work better than the old. Just like me, right? I'm old. You don't get rid of somebody because it's old. You get rid of him so it no longer works. Y'all didn't hear this. You didn't hear the old. Effective schools through research. All the research out there shows it's a clear mission. You have to have high expectations, instructional leadership, Frequent monitoring of school progress. You have to go out there and monitor often. Opportunities to learn and time on task. Safe and orderly climate. You involve the parents, home and school relations. That's effective schools show this kind of research. At Edcouch-Elsa ISD, have to look at things difficult, but not impossible. You have to have ganas, a lot of ganas to do the work you have to do. I'll never forget the movie from the 80s. When they were here, they mentioned the 80s, right? And I was thinking to myself, I told Mr. Barco, what about the music from the 60s? But anyway, ganas, the movie, remember the movie Stand and Deliver? Where the teacher stood up there and told the staff, you have to have, these kids are smart, they can do it, but you have to have ganas. So I'm telling all of you, me, everyone else, we have to have ganas for the work that we do. All students can be winners. Failure can never be an option. And we must have a clear mission and vision. Again, educational research. When I was here, I always told you, treat all boys and girls, all your students, the way you would want another teacher to treat your own son or daughter. Treat all your students the way you would want someone else to treat your own son or daughter. Don't grab, push, or touch students. Respect them. Don't embarrass anyone in front of the class. Don't embarrass anyone in front of the whole class, because they have feelings. They have feelings and they're embarrassed, and that something like this leads to kids dropping out of school. Assist struggling students to stay in school. Always have, my mother used to say when I was growing up, si se puede, hijito, si se puede, si se puede. So that thought has always stayed, si se puede. We have to have a si se puede attitude. The instructional day have to be time on task. You can't have idle students being there with their heads down. Time on task, the entire time that you have with that students. Students are engaged in learning activities. I'm always saying bell to bell teaching. There's no one here, on the next one, no one here, but there's some staff members, other districts, not here, they like the 3 C's, ABC. C, they're looking at the clock. They're sitting down in their chair. They're waiting for their check. No one here, right, board members? No one here that are the C's, no C's here. You got to be firm, fair, friendly, and consistent, dedicated, commitment, and persistent. Okay, I'm almost through. Slide 35, I think I have 42. Almost there. And then we're going to dismiss you all, and you're going to go back with all that high energy you showed today, and take it back to your campus with a high energy. We need to market our school district. There's charter schools, there's other school districts. I don't know their names. I'm not going to mention their names to it. There are other school districts that are taking our kids. They're taking our students. All of us have to work together as a team to ensure that does not happen. We need to fight for our kids. We need to have programs in our schools where kids want to go, they want to attend. We have to have the parents involved. We have to all buy into this together, because if we don't do this, we're going to be losing our kids. And a little while I'll show you what the trend has been in this school district. So we have to work hard with our kids, have programs in academics, after school, clubs, expand athletic programs, whatever it is, to keep our kids at Edcouch-Elsa ISD and not to go anywhere. This is a key. This is really, really very important, the marketing of our school district. And all of us together here, we have to ensure that our kids are treated fairly so that they stay with us, otherwise they'll leave. Facilities. for our kids to stay here, we need to have the classrooms clean and attractive, landscaping, proud of your school and department, so when someone comes into your school, the first impression is, wow, this is a good school. Where it's clean, where you have posters, where you have student work. This is very, very important, the marketing. Talk a little bit about winners and winning. Life has two rules. Rule number 1, you never quit. Rule number 2, always remember rule number 1. Okay? A winner never surrenders. Have a relentless, never-ending desire to keep improving, never being satisfied with ordinary accomplishments. A winner. Winners want the ball in difficult times. If our football team, Coach Navarro, is still here, right? Coach Navarro, if it's 4th down and 99 yards to go, you still find a way to score that winning touchdown. Always. Winners want the ball in difficult times. Always fight one more round. We're going to get knocked down. I've been knocked down. I've been knocked down many times, but you get up. You don't stay down. Hard to beat anyone that never gives up. H, I got this from Kobe Bryant, the basketball player. If you see me in a fight with a bear, pray for the bear. I thought that was nice. This is all of us, victorious warriors. We're warriors here. We win first and then go to war. While defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. So it makes sense, right? On winners and winning. Okay, now let me talk a little bit about salaries. House Bill 3, monies. The state gave the districts throughout the state House Bill 3 monies, but there were no local monies for raises. So I'm going to show you right now what we did, what the board supported. So I'm going to show you how that happened. The next page, before I go there though, I want to show you, and I'm very concerned about this, and the board is too. Fund balance is like your checking account. You have monies in there for emergencies. TA requires a 3-month reserve that in case something happens, you need the monies. A school like Edcouch-Elsa, our reserve should be about $12 million that we have this money in reserve. When I left, and there's been many projects, so when I left in 2016, 2017, we had 19.4 million, and it's gone down to 15.571. At the end of August, it is estimated, we believe it's going to be higher, but this is the worst case scenario, is going to be 9,000, not 9 million, 9 million. So, and I know that during this time, it's not that the board overspent or anything, it was just, there were facilities, there was the egg barn, there was getting ready for Ibarra, there were a lot of things that happened that we had a budget, and what happened is that because of these projects and other things, we spent more than what we had. So it's very important for us, for me this school year, to make sure that we have a budget, and right now it's about 53 million. I'm sharing this with the board on Wednesday at our board meeting. We have 53 million for the entire year for all the different programs. We need to make sure that we do not spend more than 53 million. The goal here, and I'm working on this different ways, is to not spend 53 million, but to spend less so we can put more money into our fund balance and we can have these requirements. All of you heard what happened to Mercedes a few months ago. They had no fund balance. So what they had to do, they did a rift, I think, did something. People lost their jobs. I can tell you that's not going to happen here. We'll find a way. We're going to find a way to build this. Right now it's okay. It's a little below, but we're okay. We just cannot continue every year. We cannot continue spending more than what we have. So that's, and the board understands this. So we have to be careful. And again, I'll share with the board eventually at the end of August, August 31st, we'll have a better idea as to how much money we have in our fund balance. But we're working on this. Right now we're okay. Don't leave here. Please don't leave here. Thank you. There's going to be a rift. You're going to lose jobs. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But we have to watch the budget for this year to make sure that we don't spend more than what we have. So please don't go here and don't leave and say, I'm going to lose my job tomorrow. It's not going to happen. All of you that are here are going to have jobs tomorrow. All of you here are going to have jobs at the end of the school year. So please don't think that, because we have enough money right now, as long as we don't keep on dipping into the fund balance. Okay, now I've got a few slides left. This is House Bill 3. This is the bill that came out. House bill, they gave all districts a big chunk of money, and but the legislature said, from this amount, you have to spend 30% of what I'm giving you, 100%, 30%, you have to spend this on salary increases. Just 30%, not 35, not 40%, just 30%. And they said, the emphasis on this 30% is 75%. 75% has to be spent on teachers, counselors, nurses, librarians, with a priority to those that have more than 5 years. That's what the law, you can't change the law. The increase for everyone else was 25%. So, working with the board, we came up with A. Based on this formula, we said anyone more than 5 years is going to get $3,000. Anyone, this is again teachers, counselors, nurses, librarians. Those with less than 5 years are going to get $2,000. The monthly payroll and biweekly, 25%. After we calculated who we had, there was only $1,000 left for everyone. Everyone that's not a teacher. Administrators, the state gave you zero, nothing. Nothing from this House Bill 3. So in working with the board, we worked on the budget, and we came up with a salary for all administrators, also of $3,000 to match the teachers. And then we also came up with an August incentive bonus for all staff, and you're going to get this check on Friday of this week. Everyone's going to get $500. And in December, you'll get another bonus of $500. Now, these are local monies. The state did not give us any money for administrators, no money for bonuses. We worked out a way where we're going to find ways in the budget to reduce the budget, not later part of the fund balance. There's 3 ways we're going to reduce it. One is our scoreboard, our stadium scoreboard. And I'm not blaming anyone. I don't, you know, I'm here, I don't blame anyone. I don't, that's not my nature. So for 2 years, we had a scoreboard, and it was supposed to pay for itself through sponsors. So the first year, my last year that I was here, we paid the amount, $100,000. So for the last 2 years, and I don't know the reasons, I'm not going to check, I'm not blaming anyone, whatever happened, happened. But for 2 years, no money was collected. So the same sponsors we had on the scoreboard continued not paying anything, so they got a free ride for 2 years. So now what we've done, working with Mrs. Rocha and the coaches and everyone else, we're going to get new advertisers for the scoreboard. So now we were able to raise the $100,000 plus more. So with this money, we're going to use this money to go ahead and pay the local amounts for the $500 for the bonus. In addition to that, we reduced a part on the contracted services that we felt we didn't need. And the third one is through attrition. We found out that as you lose students, you lose staff. So through staff members that did not come back, they resigned, we combined. So we were able to save, all of us working together as a team with the board support, for those 3 raises, the ones that I mentioned, the local funds, because the state funds, we can't change that. But the local funds, we were able to raise this money from within the budget. So that is the plan. However, what I'm asking of all of you here is that for us to continue getting these bonuses, we have to go out there, all of us, we have to work hard with the ADA. ADA was not very good last year in some of the schools. Some of your schools had a real good average. The standard that I have, if you're in elementary, we'd like to have at least 97% ADA. The middle school, 96%, and the high school, 95%. So this is the standard that I have. So all of us, when someone is absent, you need to go out there and make calls, get the kids back. And we also need to work on membership. Kids that left our district, to get them back. So very important that this school year we work on these things to get our ADA up and the enrollment up. Because if we continue, you saw the fund balance. And the next slide I'm going to show you the ADA, how it's been. So very, very important. So leave here, if everything that I said, just remember one thing, at least one thing, everything that I said, that we need to work harder in ADA, all of us, ADA and enrollment, to have our kids stay with us at this school district. 2 very important things to be able to continue with any kind of expense. Because like an example, let's say your household, you have 2 incomes. You lose one income, someone has no job, so now you have to do with only one income. The same thing here in the school district. You have less students, less membership, we have less monies to work with. So very, very important to do those 2 things. The next slide, this is a very important slide, the one that I mentioned right now. This is the average daily attendance used for state funding. If you can see that in 2016, the average daily attendance was 4,816. 2017, that was the last year that I was here, the ADA was 4,868. In 2018, the enrollment went down to 4,749. That's over 100 students, right? Every student is about $8,000. So 100, that's $800,000 that we lost. And we didn't reduce staff. So we reduced in ADA, but the staff stayed the same. So there was no, through attrition, everybody was replaced. In this past year, in 2018, 2019, the ADA was 4,510. So if you compare 2017, the 4,868 with the 19, 4,005, that's over 300 students, right? Right? So 300 students multiply by 8,000 per student is how much? Too much, yes. $2.4 million that did not come back into our school district because we lost ADA. Now, for 2020, the budget is going to be based on 4,376. So you compare that to 2019, that's over 100 students that we have less. This is why it's very important to get our kids back in school, build the membership, because if it keeps on going down, then there's less monies, and less monies for anything. So we need to continue working hard with the ADA, and I'm a little nervous for the first week of school. I just want to make sure the first week of school in whatever, after the first Friday, is that Still August, right? August 31st, 30th? 30th. I'm a little nervous because I want to make sure that first week of school this year is higher than what it was last year at the same time. So I'm hoping that all of you had your pre-registration, that the kids are here, and and I'll share it with the board, that we have at least what we had last year or more. Now, on the 4,376, if at the end of the year it's higher, then we get additional monies. But if it's lower than 4,376, the state is going to decrease monies. So this is why ADA, marketing our schools, is very, very important. We need to, all of us, work hard because we want to continue with the enrollment that we have and not continue losing kids. If the parents, if they feel another school does a better job than we do, then they're leaving. But if they see that our school district is better than where they want to go, they'll stay with us. So very, very important, the ADA. Last slide. How long did that take? 20 minutes? Not too long, right? I didn't want to be out here too long. The last slide is this. I mentioned my message this afternoon. I mentioned it. I would like to see the scores go up to be an A school district. Scores need to go up. The enrollment in ADA needs to go up. The school year, I've got 4 little bullets here. Any school year, the difficult takes more time and effort to reach. The impossible takes longer than difficult, but can be reached. Everything I mentioned can be reached. We're all in this together. One district, one team. May all of you have a blessed, highly successful, and wonderful school year. Thank you, and I'm glad to be back. Thank you very much. Let me see your gun strong or something. No, you have gun strong.
Not till Friday, sir. When I get my $500 check, I'll test the waters then. All righty. Well, first of all, I want to take a moment to thank Dr. Rivera first and foremost for defining the direction in which our district as a whole has to move, defining the responsibilities that each of us have to move our school forward, for giving and sharing some words of inspiration, and above all, for sharing that wisdom, because wisdom, we all know, is important, because that helps us not make and repeat the mistakes that others have attempted in the past. So thank you, Dr. Rivera, for all that you shared. And I also want to thank him and our wonderful school board for the pay raise. That within itself merited all the mariachis this morning. That's a celebration, folks. So thank you. Okay, at this time, we will have our Edcouch-Elsa ISD Vice President, Mr. Chris Morales, come up here and share a few words.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone had a restful summer. I know that we have a big year coming up, and taking the words of Ms. Rocha, I want to let you guys know that today you begin a new book, and we don't know what adventures are going to be coming up or how it's going to end, or we can predict that we're going to get that A, right? All right. So on behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome everybody back and wish everybody luck. I wasn't planning on talking today. Mr. Robert Smallsreed was supposed to be here, but for certain circumstances, he wasn't able to be here. So he texted me and he says, "Can you take over?" And I said, "Are you sure?" For those of you who don't know, I'm a school teacher. So I walk the trenches that you all walk through. So I don't speak just to speak. I actually have a classroom that I've been preparing. This morning I had to present to our 5th grade staff the curriculum that we worked on this past summer in June. So I have a little story that I want to share with you. So if you just bear with me. Some of you might have already heard this, but if you haven't, please don't spoil the answer, okay? So this is the way it goes. A couple went for a cruise to enjoy their private honeymoon while leaving their children at home. Unfortunately, the cruise ship was sinking due to a catastrophic weather condition. The couple finally made their way to the lifeboat area, but there was only space for one of them. The man, the husband, jumped on, leaving the wife on the sinking ship. The wife stood on the sinking ship and shouted to her husband, saying, and at this time, this is what I want you to do. I want you to stand up, look at your partner, but look, I had to say the same thing earlier today. Do not be mean. Just say what the wife would have told the husband to someone standing either behind you, next to you, but I need you to stand up because I know you've been sitting for a long time. Okay? So share with maybe 2 or 3 people around you, what would you, if you were the wife, being left behind by your loving husband, what would you tell him? What would you shout? Be clean, please. Clean. Everybody here can do the same thing. Clean, please. All right, let's have a seat. Let's have a seat, please. It's not over. Story's not over. All right. So this story was actually being told by a teacher to his students in a classroom. So the teacher paused the above story and asked her students in that classroom, let us guess, what do you think that wife shouted to the husband? And of course, most of the students rose up their hand, eager to answer. And some of them says, I hate you. Of course, they didn't say it. I hate you. I was blinded by love. Then the teacher noticed that there was a student who was sitting quietly and asked him, and the student answered. She says, teacher, I believe she would have shouted, take care of the children. The teacher was shocked. Okay? And she asked, have you heard this story before? The student shook his head and said, nope. But before my mother passed away to disease, she told my father the exact same words. The teacher was amazed and praised, your answer is excellent. The cruise sank, the man returned home and brought up their children single-handedly. Now you can imagine coming home after leaving with mom, and the kids are asking, where's mom? Imagine dad having to share that news. Well, your mom se fue con el barco. Of course, he said it a lot nicer. I'm sorry. Those of you who know me, you know that I'm not serious all the time. All right. So it turns out that when her parent went onto the cruise ship, the mother was already diagnosed with an incurable disease. During the crucial moment on that sinking ship, her father rushed, and the only space left on the lifeboat, he wrote in his diary, "I want to sink with you together on the sinking cruise. But for our children, I could only let you sink alone into the deep, cold ocean bed." So all this time, their daughter was very upset at Dad. How could you let Mom go? Why are you more important than Mom? And here's the daughter reading in the diary the truth. So the daughter burst into tears after reading this diary. So the teacher finishes the story, and the whole class went silent. Unlike what you are doing right now. You know, we start joking around, but then it gets pretty serious, right? Because you start thinking of, man, was I wrong? Now I can ask the people next to you, behind you, in front of you, and see, what did you respond to that? And I'm pretty sure some of you said some pretty bad things. The teacher knew that her students had understood the moral of the story that she wanted to pass on to them. In this world, there are good and evil. Sometimes a situation could be very complicated and indistinguishable of good or bad. So we must not jump to conclusions easily and look at the surface only. We must not make hasty decisions or assumptions without any attempt of investigation or using our critical thinking. We must not judge others without understanding them. We shouldn't judge a book by its cover. So what I want to leave you with is this. You're beginning a brand new school year. And the most important thing is the students coming into your classroom. But if you do not know them, there's no way you're going to reach them. Many times we say, hombre, este huerco no se porta bien, habla mucho, no hace la tarea, doesn't do his homework. But have we taken the time to realize what is going on in this student's life? You know, we assume that, oh, they live a life like we do. Everything's normal, but they all come from different places, different environments, different settings. But if you take that into account, there is no reason that we are not going to succeed in everything that Dr. Rivera talked about. Okay? I wish everyone luck and great job. I know that it takes a lot. Firsthand, I know that. To get that B. We have jumped up 6 points. This year, we need to jump 7 points. But we're going to work together because I know we can do that. It feels good to be on a winning team, and I can see it in every one of you. And we're not going to stop. We're going to keep this momentum, but we have to work together. Just like Dr. Rivera says, a team united. Good luck, everybody. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for Mr. Morales and his wonderful words of wisdom from the perspective of the educator in the classroom, which many of us are here today. We are almost towards the end, folks. At this time, I do want to invite Jim Neville from the Edinburgh Teachers Credit Union and Roxanne Cáceres from the Texas National Bank to come up here to share a few words. All right, so we have Mr. Jim Neville from the Edinburgh Teachers Credit Union.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. There's a lot of energy. That seems to be a very pervasive term today. A lot of fire burning in this room right now. It's like a bonfire, right? Well, remember, like Dr. Rivera said, Don't burn out just yet. Come November, put a little more wood under that fire. March, a little more. These young adults deserve it. They deserve all of that attention you can give them. They're amazing. Over the years, I've been at the credit union 23 years. We've hired many students due to proximity, a lot of them ISD, but a lot of them Edcouch-Elsa. I have an outstanding employee right now who is an Edcouch-Elsa graduate as well. Keep that energy flowing. I wish you a good year, and a good grief, those mariachis, the band, the flag people, everyone. This is an amazing place. I've always been just enormously impressed with Edcouch-Elsa. We do have the calendars. We'll have them in the back, so when you exit, please pick up some calendars. If there's anything we can do for you, come by the credit union. I've got Martha here to tell you just real quickly, the real Martha Stewart. Not that other one in shackles. To tell you a little bit about a product that's only for people of the school districts, and you guys are included in that, definitely. Here's Martha. Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm here to tell you about a product that was created just for you educators. It's called our Educators Line of Credit. Similar to a credit card, you could borrow up to 5 times your monthly income. It's great for overdraft protection. If you have any high interest rate credit cards, you could use it for that. Or if you're planning that dream vacation, you could use it for that as well. If you have an account at the credit union, you can apply online. If you don't have an account at the credit union, come and see me, open an account, and take advantage of this product that was created especially for you guys. Have a great year. Viva la Mahina!
All right, thank you. I tell you, folks, that's how deep Jacket Pride is. People from other towns come in, and they fall in love with our traditions here. Before we end the program, I do want to recognize some kids. As you've been seeing around, you see kids moving things around. I want to thank a couple of kids because it's summer for them, and they're here today just to help out, and we want to give them that credit. So I want to introduce to you some of our kids who are part of our theater arts program who've been moving things around for us, helping us out today, and they volunteered their time. They're Michael Flores, Scott Cavazos, Jade Alanis, George Morales, and Melanie Ramon. And if you look up there, there's a kid holding a light. Some of you probably haven't seen him yet. The spotlight, yes, the one that's shining on me right now. He's been up there all day, the whole presentation, no restroom breaks or anything, volunteering his time, so thank you. So thank you, kids, and thank you all for what you do. You represent Edcouch-Elsa so well. By the way, our theater program is very successful. Our junior high program won the district title last year in one-act play, so congratulations. And the high school one-act play advanced to the 3rd round of state competition, so a lot of good things happening with so many of our programs here at Edcouch-Elsa, so much energy that we can draw from. Our UIL program won its 5th consecutive district title, which is a new school record, by the way. Wanted to add that in there. We also want to thank thank all our coaches, all our wonderful programs, volleyball, baseball, basketball, cross country, and our football team, and all the organizations that go out there and represent us, you, the teachers and coaches who work hard, put in your extra time and effort. Edcouch-Elsa ISD recognizes you and thanks you for all that. So we have about, I believe, 48 minutes till 4 o'clock. I need to ask Dr. Rivera if it's okay if we can dismiss. Dr. Rivera? Okay, Dr. Rivera has approved an early dismissal, folks. So you're free to go. Have a good day. Y que viva! 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 La Máquina! All right, folks, have a good school year.